Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. These are the words written on the base of the Statue of Liberty, which I got to visit last year. The Statue of Liberty represents freedom and is a symbol of hope for immigrants all over the world. Have you ever really thought about your family story and how you ended up where you are today? Hi, my name is Dario, and I am the son and grandson of immigrants, and I believe it is important to know where you came from to really appreciate what you have. In English classes here, we watched a video of Kalai Yang, who was born in Thailand. In her video, she taught us the importance of sharing our stories so that we can never forget where we came from. So here's my family story. My dad was born in Iran a few years before the revolution happened. When the Persian king was overthrown, my dad was sent to Europe to study and live with family friends. By the time he was my age, he was living on his own and trying to get by. When it came time for him to go to college, he was excited about coming to America for a good education and with the hope that he could get a good job to help his parents back in Iran. His life was very difficult and there were so many times he thought about giving up, but he found the strength to move forward. I also got to interview my maternal grandfather for an ancestry story assignment. My nonno, my mom's dad, came to the United States from Sicily in 1969 for a better life and for work so that he could go back and marry my grandmother. In his small town in Sicily, the only jobs available were in fishing, construction, or farming. After living with different relatives all over the States, he settled in San Francisco and worked in the restaurant business as a cook. He would work 14-hour days to make money. He saved enough to go back and marry my grandmother, and both of them moved here when they were 24 to start a new life. A year later, my mom was born. In those days, they lived in North Beach, where most people spoke Italian. My mom didn't learn English until she started kindergarten. Both my dad and my nonno's lives were very different than mine is, and I'm so grateful not just for everything I have, but for the history of my family and how it has shaped who I am as a person. In history class, we've learned how immigrants have suffered a lot to learn English, find jobs, and provide for their families. We have also learned about extreme challenges immigrants have faced, such as the Japanese incarceration, the Chinese Exclusion Act, and nativism, which is a belief that people born in the U.S. are superior to those who immigrated here. Immigrants have been persecuted on their race, ethnicity, religion, and political beliefs. Even today, we see this with the president banning traveling from certain Muslim countries and wanting to build a wall on the Mexican-U.S. border. In Leviticus, it says, "The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you are foreigners in Egypt. I am the Lord your God." This means we need to be welcoming and hospitable to all people, regardless of where they are from. You never know if that foreigner is God, the next brilliant inventor, or a future Nobel Peace Prize winner. But this isn't just about foreigners. This can apply to anyone who is different or lonely. It is our job to be leaders of positive change and to lift up those who need it most. I believe that whether immigrants came to America for education, work, or to be with the people they love, what they bring to our country is what we need most. That is, fresh ideas, their talents, and their interesting cultures, including delicious Italian food and the rich beauty of Persian art and design. The diversity of cultures in the U.S. adds to our values and connects us with the people around the world. In America, we should celebrate our differences and appreciate all the amazing cultures we are surrounded by. In my own family, I get to celebrate Persian New Year and the Madonna de Lume celebration, which connects me to my Persian and Sicilian heritages. It's special to me, and I hope it's something I could share with my kids one day. I would not have these fun traditions if my parents and grandparents were not immigrants. My dad says his greatest accomplishment in coming to the United States is the ability to be able to provide for his family and to help his patients. My nonno says he is proud because he was able to create a good life for his wife and his 2 daughters. I have not faced these same challenges my parents and grandparents have faced, but their stories have taught me the value of hard work. I'm grateful for these stories, for the history of my family, and for all my parents have done to give me the life I have today. We all have the responsibility to be accepting of others, regardless of where they are from, what color their skin is, or what religion they follow. We need to celebrate each other's differences, not limit each other's potential, and keep our traditions alive. We must learn from one another and respect each other. We owe this to ourselves and our future generations. President John F. Kennedy once said, "Everywhere immigrants have enriched and strengthened the fabric of American life." I agree with him, and I'm thankful for the diversity of our country, this school, and for my story of my family. Thank you.